What is going on, all you Marvel movie maniacs out there? It's your boy, Fat Samurai Guy, back again with the Master Remaster, Frank Jang in the house. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And today,
like the Eternals, Frank Jang will return.
yeah. It's kind of a follow-up. We decided to review, the spoiler review. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out, of Eternals. We did a long live spoiler review of the movie until Mr. Frank's internet said it went kaput. That's right. It said screw you, and you're live streaming.
It's the China censors, man. They said, "Oh, we gotta stop them."
That's what's going on.
You know, the funny thing is actually, you know, this is the honest truth. When Eternals first came out, lots of people tried to post, like, you know, they check in, like they went to the theater and they checked in, so they would post the Eternal poster on the Facebook page, like like Frank Jang is here at certain movie theater watching Eternals.
Right.
But all of those posts got marked for spam by Facebook for some reason.
Really?
Like I posted, I know, and I tried posting it 4 times. Each time it didn't go through. I thought, what the hell happened? How come it didn't go on? And then one day later, it finally got posted. You know, the poster went up, and then I got like 4 reports of spam from Facebook saying your post has been reported as spam. And turns out, like, lots of people was experiencing the same thing. So people were wondering, maybe somebody like complained, and so, you know, somebody complained,
flagging it.
Exactly. Yeah. Someone's flagging it so that they don't want Eternals to be advertised on Facebook, or they don't want people to start promoting Eternals on Facebook. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a perfect segue for the topic we're going to talk about today. It'll be mostly Frank talking, but I'm here to listen and gain the knowledge. And unfortunately, there's a little bit of controversy going on in China and what they're doing with their cinema and films over there. You know.
Yeah.
And we love, you know, Hong Kong cinema, and that's us. You know, we love all that stuff. But unfortunately, recently things have been getting a little tricky. Things have not been. It's interesting, but I'll let Frank talk about it in detail here. So, Frank? Why will China not be viewing, screening, showing Eternals? What is going on in China, my friend?
Well, to explain why, we have to go back just a little bit early.
Sure.
Like earlier this year, when Chloe Zhao, you know, the director of Eternals, did Nomadland. And Nomadland was a critical hit, and it got nominated for Oscar and stuff. So it's getting Oscar buzz, and so China at that time felt that, well, you know, Chloe Zhao originally was from China, and her parents from China, even though she was educated in the West. So they felt this is like China's pride to have some, you know, Chinese director whose film was being nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. So they started, you know, basically, you know, like the press was covering, I mean, China press was covering all this. It's like, you know, they call her China's daughter, you know, you know, like that. So you know, China's daughter, you know, winning all these accolades, and of course, right before, I mean, this all happened when it got nominated. Okay, it got nominated for Best Picture and Best Director and stuff. But then somebody, China, what have you, found this interview that Chloe Zhao did a few years ago with, I think it's Australian or Canadian press, where he said China is a country full of lies. You know, like China is a country that has always lied to the people and stuff. So she was not being very positive on the, you know, on China, saying that like she's glad she left. You know, she's glad that she was educated in the West, because, you know, there's no truth in China and all that. So right away things backfired. You know, all of her name or mention got erased from China's social media. You know, like Weibo, WeChat, and then China, and then both China and Hong Kong. And it kind of affected Hong Kong too, because, you know, China first said we're not going to broadcast the Oscars, and then Hong Kong kind of followed suit. So this was the first time in 52 years that Hong Kong has not broadcasted the Oscars, either live or recorded. You know, because like the way Hong Kong showed the Oscars is when Oscars came on here at like 5 or 6 o'clock West Coast time, is like 9 o'clock Hong Kong morning time the next day. So what Hong Kong would do is they will broadcast it live, and then they will repeat it, re-show it again at night with the Chinese subtitles put in, so that people who don't understand English can watch it with the subtitles.
Right.
but not this year. Not this year. Not only was it not shown live in any Hong Kong TV networks, there was never they never because it was not shown live. There was no rebroadcast later on. So this was the first time in 52 years that Hong Kong people didn't get to see the Oscars. And of course, she won, right? She won Best Director and Best Picture. And so when China posted the winners to the Academy Awards, those two slots were missing. Those two names, those two categories were missing from the list. So like, well, okay, so who won? But that was really the start of this kind of Marvel boycott in China, which then extended to Black Widow. Right. Black Widow came out in May, didn't get shown in China. People wondering, well, is it because of the Chloe Zhao situation? Is it because of the fact that she said something? But then, if you watch Black Widow, it's pretty clear that this film can probably not be shown in China with all these talk about Red Room, mind control, and then these people breaking free and stuff. Right. So that's probably one reason. I mean, China never said why we're not showing. Why they never told Disney, they never told Marvel why we're not showing Black Widow, why we're turning down, why we're not granting the certificate to show Black Widow in China. But if you watch the movie, it's pretty obvious. It didn't really portray a good light on either Russia or anything that's kind of related to communism and all that. Right. And then of course Shang-Chi came out, right? Shang-Chi then Shang-Chi already had this controversy about casting because to the mainland Chinese, their definition of a beautiful Asian or beautiful face, Chinese beautiful face, is sort of different from how the U.S. or the West kind of perceive. They felt that whoever that was casted in Shang-Chi were like a slap to the face to the Chinese people. Like, why are you casting people who don't like, who doesn't look like our typical Chinese cast or Chinese actors?
So they had issues with Sam's look? They
have issue with Simu Liu's, right?
Okay. Oh, sorry. Simu, yeah.
Right, Simu Liu. They have issue with Awkwafina.
Oh,
yeah, because they felt that they have some really personal attacks on the two of them. To them, these are ugly, and they felt that because of their feature, like the eyes and all that stuff. It's not like they're really ugly, but it's just the judgment, the standard of what considered handsome or pretty Asian face is totally different.
For the lead of the movie.
Exactly, for the lead of the movie, they prefer boy band looks, right? They're like why can't you cast somebody from BTS to be Shang-Chi? That kind of mentality, right? Because they're so used to seeing boy band.
Which would have been bad.
Really bad. Yeah, like why couldn't you cast somebody who look like Fan Bingbing? Then you have this broken this Queens lady from Queens who's not even who doesn't speak Chinese to be this female lead. So that's kind of like a huge backlash, and so that led to Shang-Chi didn't show in China. Right. And now this is the Eternals is now the third Marvel movie not being shown in China. Man. And again, there was no explanation. Nobody ever flat out said, we're not going to let you show Eternals in China. And it's not like other Middle Eastern countries. I don't know whether you heard, like countries like Qatar and Turkey or Emirates, they want they want certain scenes cut out because it's against their religion. Obviously, they're referring to probably the gay kiss and also the sex scene and stuff, right? They don't want those scenes in the film, and Disney refused it. We're not going to cut the film. We're not going to cut the film. So they are not being shown in 5 of those Middle Eastern countries. But in China's case, it has to do with, I think, what Chloe Zhao said before. But then
makes sense.
It makes sense, right? It has to be because of a critique of her native country that China felt offended, insulted, and so Disney kind of paid the price for not having Eternal show. But then, once you see the film, there are a lot of things in the film that once you look at it, no, China wouldn't want this show. We talked about it briefly last night with Arishem the judge being red and controlling all the Eternal, the robots and stuff. But there are other stuff too, which we'll go into detail a little bit later. But that's really the gist of it. So far
that's the gist. Okay.
Right. That's just it. So now we have 3 Marvel movies, right? 3 Marvel movies not shown in China. Now that's
crazy, man.
That is crazy, and also it's going to create a ripple effect because these movies are related, right? These are all kind of chained together. Like you really have to watch all these movies consecutively to get the storyline and stuff, because that's just how the way it's structured. You know, they can be seen as a separate film, but then they also references in the film that either go back to previous film or you know, link to future films. So now you already have this chain broken with 3 films not showing in China. Now, it will be really interesting if they also say no to Spider-Man No Way Home, because Spider-Man No Way Home really is this pivotal point in Phase 4. Right? It's going to point to all these multiverse. It's going to point to Doctor Strange. So you're going to have all these new references that are going to be explored in later films. So if they also decide not to show Spider-Man, I don't know. I don't know whether Marvel will ever have a chance to have all of the, you know, future MCU movie being shown there until whatever things settle or what have you.
That's a big one.
That is a big one.
That's a big one for sure.
And also because if you keep in mind, they, you know, when they plan all these things, obviously these are planned years in advance. So when they plan these films, not just on the story issue, just on the narrative, also on the financial issue, it's like they budgeted these films with the China market in mind, right? They were saying, okay, if I put like $200 million in this film, and if I have say $300 million from China's box office, I got my costs covered. But now you don't have the China box office. Now, what's that going to do to the budgeting of the future Marvel titles? We don't know. Will it become smaller scale because they know that the box office may not cover the budget? We don't know.
Right. So you think that's going to affect us everywhere?
I think so. I think it's going to have a ripple effect. Now, for how big the ripple effect is, I can't tell.
Is bootlegging big over there? They got
of course.
Secret screenings. Hey man, hey yo, I got the Spider-Man movie, bro.
Hey,
bring everybody over. $100 a ticket. $100 a ticket.
$50 for the link. Yeah, I know. No, of course, bootlegging is huge in China. Of course, it's huge. So. I mean,
but it's not just Marvel. I mean, it's their own cinema too. There's issues, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Their own movie have issues. Like, but I mean, the thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Like we just finished reviewing. Check it out, guys, if you haven't seen it. Donnie Yen's Raging Fire, and there's issues with that, and you want to briefly explain why that style of movie may be the last of its kind.
Raging Fire is really to me is really the last Hong Kong. I mean, I saw your podcast with Kyle. That was great.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, no, Raging Fire is really the last Hong Kong action movie. If you ask me, Hong Kong style, and like, you know, even though that the film. No, I mean, people may not realize this. Raging Fire was a China-Hong Kong co-production, but it has China budget. But Benny Chan, the late Benny Chan, was so skillful in getting the story across, getting what you want to say across, that he was able to pass the censors. You know, it was pretty amazing if you think about it. You know, the film wasn't really nice to cops. You know, they're really saying all cops are bad. I mean, the cops are corrupt. Like both, you know, the good guys on Donnie Yen's side and bad guys, because hey, these are all cops, and you have these cops turn rogue and started, you know, killing people, robbing, and all that stuff.
You can't have any of that. So
but then he was able to get it bypassed because in the end the good cop won. And to me that's pretty amazing to be able to show that. And also I remember distinctively that scene where one of the cop who turned rogue, you know, he was because he was disappointed that, you know, because they got sentenced to prison and all that stuff. He was kneeling. Remember, he was kneeling in front of the police station with the sign saying, like, the cops or police are the shame, you know, but the police are the shame of Hong Kong, something like that. It's just amazing that he was able to get that sign just in the movie. You know? So he was able to, you know, run around get the loop. You know, like he was able to take advantage of the loophole, run a corner, and still be able to show or say what he wanted to say, even within and to let China censors allow it. I think it's pretty amazing. And so that to me is really like the last Hong Kong action movie.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, fingers crossed we'll get more badass action movies like that in the future, but it's a weird time, especially when big budget gigantic superhero blockbusters are not getting shown in certain countries. It's very, very bizarre time we live in now. It's very strange.
Hopefully, this changes.
Like,
right. Hopefully, but look, Free Guy got shown in China. Free Guy was able to. Again, this is kind of mind-boggling to me if you think about it. Free Guy is really about this machine, this non-existent figure in the video game trying to escape, trying to free himself.
Right.
Yet they were able to show this film in China.
The title's he's called Free Guy. Yeah, I guess there was they got past the loopholes on that one.
And I don't know how they did it. I really don't know. I don't know how China judged these. Like why would they let Free Guy be shown and then not let Shang-Chi or not let I mean, we know the reason, but I mean to have Free Guy being able to show there with the subject matter, with the storyline.
It's in a computer game. That's probably how it got past the loophole there.
Yeah.
But there you go, guys. If you'd like to hang out with us a little bit longer and talk, do some a little bit more Eternal spoiler talk, feel free to hang out. Because Frank got cut off the other day, so he didn't get a chance to give his rating of the movie or anything. But feel free if you guys want to. We're going to keep it going. Feel free to hang out. But if not, there's the reason, guys, of why Eternals is not going to be shown in China. It's a very odd time we live in. But,
and then going there. Yeah, it's odd time we live in, and it's just weird that people don't realize that China. I mean, look, a lot. Like we know, China is not the world's biggest box office market. Not U.S. anymore. It's China.
Yeah.
So it's the reality of things that many movies being made in Hollywood now have China in mind. I mean, look. I mean, like Tom Cruise. The latest Top Gun. He has to take that Taiwanese flag off his jacket. In the original Top Gun, he had this jacket, the leather jacket, with the Taiwanese flag in the back. Well, now it's gone. Well, then he's supposed to be wearing the same jacket over the years. So how come the flag got changed? So I mean, it's Hollywood kind of kowtowing to China. Like if you want your film to make money, if you want your film to show in China, you got to do this and that. So from a creative point of view, it's really not very good because it's limiting your creativity. It's intruding on your creativity. So
that's unfortunate, and hopefully that'll change in the future. Fingers crossed for that. But now we're going to do some Eternal spoiler talk here. Frank, do you remember where you left off, or what were some of the parts?
We were talking about Kingo. We were talking about how Kingo kind of just left.
I was disappointed in that, in the character, because I enjoyed him, and it kind of felt like the movie just forgot about the character. Like, all right.
Yeah. Again, I really blame the screenwriting. Like I talked about it yesterday, where there was 4 screenwriters. So, obviously Cody Zhao was one of them. But then, I bet you it was Marvel saying, you know what, we have to include this, we have to do this. So, because this is what we need in a Marvel film. So even though she might have complete creative control, she still need to, bow to the reality that in a Marvel film, certain rules have to be followed. Certain things has to be included because whatever they do might influence future Marvel movies. So I think the fact that they have to have all these screenwriters kind of compromise Zhao's vision a little bit. Yeah.
But I don't see the problem. Like you bring in a different audience because of that actor. You'd think they would want him in the end finale fight. It's kind of strange.
Yeah, and I remember
why wouldn't they put him there?
Yeah, like you spend so much time with him in the valet, then why take him out at the end?
Yeah, it's very weird. But yeah, go ahead, keep on talking. The more you wanted to talk about the movie.
So I mean, going back to what we talked about a little bit earlier about the China situation. There's one line in the film which really resonates with me. The truth will set them free. I don't know whether you remember that line. I think it was either. I think it was Cersei who said that the truth will set them free.
No, it was what's her name? Maka.
Macaulay.
Yeah,
she said that.
She said that.
Right. She said that. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So and remember, she's actually a guy in the comics. So there's two characters in the film got a gender change.
Okay.
Macaulay and believe it or not, Ajax. Ajax was actually a guy in comics.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
But anyway, so that line to me kind of like strike me as like wow, again, another reason that this film probably can And then I know we're supposed to talk spoiler, but then this is kind of like a spoiler, right? Eric Sham, the judge is red. We mentioned he's red.
Right.
He's supposed to be this representation of like, I'm always right, authority, nobility.
Right.
I'm the sun to this whole, I'm like the sun around this whole solar system.
Right.
If without me, without Tiamat, without these celestial, then all these lives cannot sustain, they'll die and blah blah blah. But the irony is, in order for the Tiamat, like the celestial, to emerge, you must kill like billions of people. You must kill the planet. So like to create life, you have to destroy life. So right. And that brings to me. That's what I meant yesterday about like these big, like last time we talked about these bigger themes going on.
You're right. Yeah.
To the people of the earth, these Eternals, like they're like gods to them, right? They're like deities to them.
Yeah.
But with the revelation that they're robots, they're really just tools. They're the Celestials' tools, and they can be sacrificed at any time. They really don't have any value. They really don't have existence. It's almost like, this universe is so huge, and the Earth is just like a little ripple sand, little sand in this whole universe. And to the Celestial, humankind is like they're even lower than the sand.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
But what Cowie is saying through the Eternals is that, well, they may not be as worthy as even the sand, but they still have value. They deserve to live, right?
Right.
They deserve to live. So then that's why, we have this theme of some of the Celestials going against, some of the Eternals going against the Celestials' will and decide to defend them. Yeah.
And the big themes of the movie is what sold it for me. That's what made the movie work for me.
Mm-hmm. Right.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, what did you think of the scene where, well, I know we're like completing a sentence that we talked about yesterday. So, but yeah, let's just jump around here a little bit. The Hiroshima bomb sequence.
Yes,
what did you think of that?
I find that interesting because remember they said, well, we're not supposed to intrude on the humankind, right? We cannot interfere. And Fassels was this inventor. So he said, I'm my plan is to eventually lead to these inventions so that it will benefit mankind. Well, his invention also led to the Hiroshima bomb. So why didn't he jump in? Why didn't he interfere? I mean, he's this magical inventor, new technologies, and then he was standing among the ruins of Hiroshima and said, what have I done? What have I done?
Right, right.
Then see, that was like kind of a little bit confusing to me because why didn't he interfere then? If he knew that this invention, this nuclear bomb, will lead to all this death and destruction, why
I guess they were
interfere?
just sticking to the theme where they can't.
Right.
I guess
so, yeah. And I would just kind of, I would just find that a little bit, it's conflict with what he said. His purpose is to make these creation, this invention to benefit mankind, right. But yet you have this destructive invention that he knew in advance that this is going to happen. Yet, but then, like you said, maybe they cannot interfere, right?
Yeah.
Unless deviants are involved. So yeah, but I just thought that scene kind of. I'm not sure that scene fits 100% into the film, but I mean, I'm glad it was there. It's just
right. I guess they want to give some kind of reason of why he's angry with humanity and he gave up until he didn't give up when he had a family later.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
probably why they did.
Right, that is a good point. Yeah.
So I know we kind of briefly talked about the deviants again. So what did you think of the main evolved deviant design? Does it still look like a video game, or
it still does? I like the idea, but I like the idea behind it. He wants to be human, really. If you think about it, right? He just wants to become, in a way, he kind of wants to be free, doesn't it? I mean, he's trying to develop a mind of his own. He's trying to So he's trying to be. To me, he reminded me of Agent Smith, Matrix.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, he wants to.
But
be.
He's I mean, he even said that we are not going to just stand by and let you guys kill us and stuff. You know, he was like, you know, talking about the, you know, the rest of the deviants that were there with him. But yeah, we can just go ahead and just kind of bounce around with the action finale here, because I think that's where you got cut off.
Yeah,
I enjoyed him baiting in Thena here.
I do. Yes, me too.
And
yes.
I enjoyed their little back and forth fight, man. That was good. And she sliced him up. That was great.
That was great. Again, I wish they spent more time on Thena. I think, like I said, Thena and Gilgamesh.
Oh yeah.
It's funny to me that I find it interesting that almost all the side characters are much more interesting than the two main characters.
You know, thinking about it now, to me, it was Gilgamesh and Thena. To you, it was you liked what's his name?
Druig.
Druig,
I like
right?
Druig. Yeah. Druig fascinating.
Yeah.
But I find Druig fascinating, and I wish that they spend more time on Gilgamesh and Thena. And that relationship. Yeah, to me, that relationship is so much more interesting than between Icarus and Cersei. Yeah.
Right. For sure, definitely. So now we have Tiamat slowly being born here. They have to finish the job, or at least try to do their best to put him to sleep, because they don't want Earth to die.
Yeah, and here again,
what do you think about which side do you agree with, Frank? Do you agree with, I mean, the Eternals fighting for humanity, but then damning another planet being created? Or you're like, I don't know, or you kind of see both sides? What do you think?
I just see a China allegory. Yeah, I mean, sorry, man. The rise of the red. I mean, I know. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw Tiamat,
so you're Eternals. You're Eternal side.
Yeah, I'm on the Eternal side.
Okay,
I mean, because again, Eternal. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, it's like the emergence of this red China that's going to destroy everything. Am I going to get trouble? I think so.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just talking about movies. It's fine.
Yeah.
But what did you think of the finale throwdown?
I liked it. I like the build up to it, to be honest with you. This to me, the finale has more stakes involved than some of the other Marvel movies. It's like you really felt that Earth is in peril. You know, I can kind of sense it, and you know, I can sense how, you know, like they're really trying to save the Earth, so to speak. And they're really kind of turning against the Celestials' wishes, and which is why you know, Ajax. I think why Ajax leaned on Cersei to continue her work, because she knew that Cersei is, you know, has the same mind, same mentality. And here we have another allegory, if you don't mind me going into it, because I find this fascinating, okay? A lot of people, a lot of the Chinese discussion online on the Eternals has compared Cersei to the Taiwanese president, the current Taiwanese president. And the reason was because she's always trying to keep throughout the film, she's like procrastinating. She's trying to push. She's trying to delay the inevitable, right? She's trying to prevent the emergence. She's trying to, you know, like, it's almost like, I just want to keep it like it is now. I want to, you know, I don't want to make decisions now, and I don't want to take on this responsibility.
Right.
And the funny thing was, she wears green, right? Her costume is green.
Yeah.
Green is the color of the current ruling party of Taiwan. Run by the president. You know, right now, Taiwan is ruled by the Green Party. Let's call them the Green Party, right? And they're kind of not pro-China. They are, you know, they prefer. You know, I wouldn't say they want to prefer independent, but they don't like how China is, like, you know, harassing them or threatening them with military action and boycotting all these trade boycotts and stuff. So people think, well, you know, she's like Taiwanese. She wears green. She acts like President Tsai. Because, you know, she didn't agree with what the red giant, the red judge, you know, Ereshkigal wanted to do. Right. So. And now she leads her bands of, you know, Eternals to go against the wishes, you know, to go against, fight against. And then, is
this pure coincidence, or do you think somebody in the script did this on purpose?
Well, I think Cole might be doing that. And then the funny thing is, well, you know, you really have to kind of know Taiwanese politics to kind of think of this way, because Icarus is blue. She's wearing blue. Now, blue is the color for Taiwan's Democratic Party, which is pro-China. And
are you serious?
I'm not kidding, man. I'm not making this up. I am not making this up. All right. So in other words, like we have this blue eternal who's willing to side with the red giant and abandon his fellow eternals.
Wow.
Right. And then we have So
wow.
So,
wow.
I mean, of course,
blew my mind there.
It's open to interpretation, but that's this is what some of the more like the Asia discussion panel has been talking about. I mean, is it Cowie? Is it deliberate on Cowie's part? You know, who knows, right? Because you have this green leader, right? Green female leader. Remember, President Tsai, Taiwanese President Tsai, is a woman, so you have this green female leader trying to go against this red giant, you know, and then she has to prevent the blue leader from blocking her rescue attempt. So I mean, I just thought, wow, you know,
wow. Wow, this
but no, I like the
deeper
finale.
Marvel movie than we thought here.
Exactly. I mean, I like the finale. I think it's great. I mean, look, this is a slow burn film, right? I mean, you know, it's slow burn. It's not like action right away. You know, it takes time to build character. And like I mentioned last time, to be able to introduce 10 characters in this small time frame in one movie, half a movie to be exact, was no mean feat. You know?
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have our, you know, she summons all the powers, gets the team together, and puts Tiamat to sleep here.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting if it's just TV's just chilling like this for a while, sleeping. Like
the sleeping giant. Think about it. Yeah. I know.
Like the movie, you know, you have the people on the news, you know, like helicopters flying around reporting, like this giant thing just hanging out.
Yeah, but I like the scale. I really like the scale. I mean, I saw it in IMAX. Yeah, I mean, in IMAX, this is huge. So that's why I mean by how I felt that this finale really put the Earth in really, you know, a tangible peril. You know, because it involved. We talk about destruction of the planet just by this giant emerging. You know, and also I think it's because Cowie used all these natural lighting. You know, all these wide shots. You know, the whole finale was shot in Spain's Canary Island, which is beautiful.
Right.
And like, remember when they went to the Unimind mode? When they did the Unimind mode, and they started rising and stuff. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Zoo Warriors from the Magic Mountain. It's almost like, you know what I mean? There's almost like this Chinese flying fairy aspect of it, which I really kind of like. And like when they start rising, and and I look at, this is like, you know, there's a Chinese term called xin he. Xin he means the aura of the fairy, and that's what I think of when that's what I thought about it when I saw them rising. Yeah. So I kind of like that.
It does kind of. Yeah, you're right about Zoo Warriors for sure. Yeah.
So
that's a fun movie.
Yeah, it reminded me of Zoo Warriors.
So what did you think about the finale and the ending? And we're gonna get to spoilers. So what did you think about
this? Big Red. This is another threat here, isn't it? I mean, he summoned the 3 Eternals that kind of spoiled his plan, right? I mean,
now who were the 3 again?
I believe it was Cersei. And then Kingo, I think Kingo was one of them.
There's one more in there.
Makari? No, Makari's on the ship.
Okay.
Who's on the ship? Makari, Juik, and Fassos. So, is it Fina?
Fina's there.
Fina's there. So Fina, Cersei, and Kingo was summoned by the Red Judge. Who knows where they're taken, right?
Yeah.
And then we have the other 3.
And he basically tells her, he's like, well, okay, you guys made this decision to save Earth, and I'm going to check all your memories. You're going to come back with me, and we're going to see if, you know, if you did the right thing.
Right.
It depends on what humankind does moving forward, and then if it doesn't go right, I'm coming back, you know, to judge basically everyone. He's coming back with judgment, basically. That's what he said. So that doesn't sound good.
Right.
So. Yeah, and then we have
that's not ominous.
Right, now we're back on the ship, the Eternal ship, and then these characters are new to me, also, Frank.
Oh yeah,
and, the CGI of Pip is not good. The CGI is not good for Pip.
Not good, man. Not good. I know.
Nice.
It's almost like are they running out of time? Is it like they just add this in because they had
not
to?
good,
Yeah,
man.
it's not good.
But apparently he's a main character.
He's a main character, and then Harry Styles as Thanos' brother, Eros. He's a main character.
Eros?
Yeah, Eros,
Right.
supposedly like the god of love or something. But yeah, you know, you don't know who he is. It's like you don't know what plan he has. You know, is he has something else in mind? You know, he's saying, oh, you know, he's going to join the Eternals to find.
He is an
everything.
Eternal.
Yeah, he is an Eternal. Yeah, he is. It's I mean, just like Thanos was an Eternal, but
Right.
Thanos was you know, he's deformed. He has his deviant syndrome or something.
Right.
So that's why
There's like a blood syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah, blood syndrome. But
that's why he looks the way he does.
Right.
But let's see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully we get some these new characters are fun, and hopefully we get some cool adventures in the future. I'm actually more excited for this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You want to talk about this scene?
Yeah. This feels so much like a Chinese martial arts scene. You know? It just reminded me of a Chinese martial art novel where the swordsman reluctantly trying to pick up the sword, and then the master of Sifu, the Shaolin monk, came. Are you sure? Have you made up your mind? You know, are you sure you're gonna do this? Yeah, so I just funny. But yeah, I mean that's a huge. I mean, because he introduces Blade. You know.
Yeah.
Two things. It introduces Dane Whitman as really the Black Knight. You know, he's the Black Knight. This is the Ebony Blade. Yeah, there you go. You know,
the Ebony Blade, and he's like freaking out because he knows that it's cursed.
Yes.
So he's kind of like, man, I really don't want to do this. He's like,
yeah, because this is supposed to be one of the most powerful.
I like how it's hovering when it's following. I like how the blade follows his finger.
So you go following, and then you hear this thing in the background. Cool. That was great. Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be. You know, it makes the user, you know, the Black Knight, invincible and can do anything. So yeah. So I mean, like when I saw it, oh yeah, now it makes sense why they have somebody from Game of Thrones playing this kind of mind. He was really kind of like a minor character in the film, right? I mean, throughout he's just like the poor boyfriend.
I was wondering why he was here. You know, I was like, why is this kid? He's like barely in the movie. I was, oh, okay, there we go.
Okay, so they have.
And he says here, you know, like when they're talking,
yeah,
like my past, he's like my family's past is complicated.
It's complicated. Yeah. So there you go. And then I was like, why didn't you say so earlier, man? You know.
I know, right? I know.
Why do you say the laundromat? You know, when you talk to Thursday there, golly.
So when he's about to reach for it, what's the line again? You sure you want to do
that? The line. Oh, hold on. I gotta find that line.
Okay.
Hold on. Oh, here we go. Are you sure you're ready for that, Mr. Whitman?
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
At first, I thought it was Nick Fury. Isn't that crazy? I thought that was Nick Fury. I thought it was Sam Jackson.
Some people thought it was Reed Richards. Another person thought it was a Watcher or the Watcher.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't know until I got home and looked it up. But the director announced that it was Blade. So
yep, she announced it.
Kind of more excited on Blade and the Black Knight teaming up, killing shit more than the Galactic stuff.
No,
However, I'll still watch it as long as it's entertaining.
I agree. Yeah.
It's got to be entertaining, though.
It better be entertaining. Yeah. And it also makes you wonder, is this going to be a build-up to some kind of an Avenger film? No, I mean, not a new Avenger film, but just like an Avenger film where you have all these heroes combined together and make one big, huge film. My feeling is, yes, there's going to be another, like an Endgame type of film eventually.
Probably.
Where everybody comes together. Eternals, Blade, Guardian of the Galaxy, and they're all going to come together. So, I don't know how long that's going to take, but it's going to take a while.
And fingers crossed for Blade. They're casting a great actor, and he's a great actor. Mm-hmm. But you know how me and you are, Frank, when it comes to martial arts action sequences, man.
We're picky.
Don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up. Please don't. Oh, that little girl. Remember that little girl? Me emoji. Please don't stop.
Don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up.
But yeah, this was a blast. Hopefully, Blade's good.
And remember, Kevin. Remember in the film, in the end, went full James Bond mode. It says Eternals will return.
Oh yeah, I did say that. That's right.
Yeah.
Will it?
But
how to do it financially? Will it?
Yeah, I think it's actually doing better than they expected. I think that was good. Yeah, okay. I mean, look, you know, the critics hated it, right? Like we talked about it last time. That the critics say, "Well, it's different." Well, but then you guys said it's always the same. Now you're different. You don't like it. But I think audiences tend to like it. Look, I mean, the movie it's going to be a hard sell to the general public, right? But
right.
For me, it went by fast, really fast. And
I found it to be entertaining. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll give your rating just for fun. Out of 5 stars. Remember, 3 on the channel is average, and you can go halves. You can go 3.5 out of that or whatever. I think I gave Shang-Chi a 4 out of 5.
Right.
That really surprised me. I was really entertained by that. I wasn't expecting to have that much fun with it.
Right.
This one definitely was entertained by it. But, you know, Shang-Chi's more my speed. But 3 is average on the channel, and I believe yesterday I gave Eternals a 3.9.
Oh,
I gave it a 3.9. Yeah.
Good.
Right,
I mean, like I said, you know, when it came to the finale, I thought, oh, we get to the finale already. Was it really near the conclusion? Or I thought there was like maybe 30 or 40 minutes still left with some important development. So to me, but then I would have been happy to sit for another 45 minutes just to learn more about them, you know. But granted, I was also kind of satisfied with everything that had come before.
Right. You know, what do you give it?
I'm giving it. I would say I would give it a 4.
All right.
A 4. Yeah. It felt different, and I like it. And I do find them interesting, and I look forward to finding what happened with them. Yeah. So yeah, I would a 4. Yeah.
Copy that. All right. Let us know in the comments below. Even though this is not a review video, but fuck it. We do whatever we want on the channel, God damn it.
But I mean, I'm glad we talk about all this China situation. I just want audience to know.
I'm glad.
Yeah, we want people to know what is going on. And then we haven't even touched on the new the new movie censorship law in Hong Kong. We should save it for another time, obviously.
Yeah,
to me, that has a huge implication on both future Hong Kong cinema as well as past Hong Kong cinema, because the law is retroactive, which means prior movie, like you know, like the Shockwave movie, right? They bombed the whole goddamn Hong Kong airport. Now maybe consider, you know, threatening to national security. They can ban that film.
So you're talking about older movies they can get rid of if they'd like.
Yeah, because the law is retroactive. The new bill.
Yeah, that's another video for another time.
That is for another time, yes.
Just for the hell of it, though, let us know what you guys thought of Eternals in the comments below. Give us your ratings. And what's your favorite Marvel films of the year so far? Do a little ranking of the movies that came out so far this year. I want to see what's your number 1. And thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Buy 88 Films and Eureka Blu-rays. That's right. It is amazing what they're doing. And you got old Frank Jang on there. He's got you covered with commentary, baby.
Hey, thanks, Samurai, for having me back again, man. Sorry about yesterday. I mean, sorry about the last time. But,
what are you gonna do? Hey, it might happen one day where I might go out and it'll just be the Frank James show.
Oh boy, yeah, that's true. I gotta be prepared for that.
Yeah, man, that might happen. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Bye.